What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about how can you prepare for a possible recession or a depression. According to Statista, by September 2023, it is projected that there's a probability of 23.07% that the United States will fall into another economic recession. This is a slight decrease of the preceding month where the probability was 25.15%. So the good news is that the probability of us, according to Statista, right, falling into a recession in 2023 is decreasing. However, 23%, that's still a very, very, very large probability. So I wanted to talk to you guys about that today. What can you do to protect yourself from a recession? What are the single steps that you can take to protect yourself and your family and your investments and everything else that you care about during a recession, according to Forbes.com. So let's get right into it. All right, so here we are on Forbes.com, and according to Forbes.com, this is how investors are preparing for a recession. So the first step that Forbes is suggesting you guys do is that you review your investment plan. If you don't have a plan, now is the time to take action, right? Your plan should cover why and what are you investing in, your risk tolerance, and your time horizon, guys. If you are like me, and many of you guys are watching my channel, right, we are looking at 20 years from now. I don't need this money tomorrow. I don't need it next year. I don't need it in 5 years. I'm making purchases so when I'm 65, I can retire and that's it, be done with it, right? So what is your time horizon? That's something that only you can answer. They suggest that every 5 to 10 years, as you age, your asset allocation should likely change because your goals will change. Updating your plans gives you a guide for making better investment decisions. Number 2, they suggest that you take a long-term outlook. When bad times hit and the market drops, we get nervous or scared and want to react to short-term pain. But you need to take a long-term outlook, as I was just mentioning before, right? You need to understand that in the time, the stock market will come back and the economy will improve. It always does, right? We had how many recessions? 8, 9, 10 recessions in the last 100 years or whatever. So there are going to be times when the stock market is going to go down. We're going to have bear markets. We're going to have bull markets. We're going to have recessions. We're going to have depressions. We're going to have short circuits. We're going to have black swan events, right? Like we just had a couple of years ago. All those things are just natural things that happen in the stock market. So you need to be aware whenever you invest in the stock market, right? Continue building those positions. Continue, stay the course. In fact, the average recession lasts just 10 months. The average bear market lasted 289 days. That's less than 1 year. So that's good news, right? Even though if we jump into a bear market, even though if we jump into a recession in 2023, we should be out by it by 2024, right? So that's what the good news is. The bad news is that if you did not collect enough cash to take advantage of the situation, then you're not going to be able to make fortune whenever the stock market rallies back up, right? And we get out of the bear market and we go back into a bull market like the one we just had before the pandemic. Stop checking your investments account balances every day. This is something that a lot of people are guilty of. I know I'm guilty of it. This is something that a lot of new investors do, and it drives them crazy because they're looking at prices on a day-to-day, even hour-to-hour basis. And you need to be aware that it doesn't matter. If you look at your investments every single day, you shouldn't be looking at once a week. I would say is good. Maybe once a day is fine. But every single day, every single hour, looking at your investments, I'm down $100, $200, $300, $1,000. It could drive you crazy. So don't do that, guys. Number 3, don't get fooled by market rallies. A mistake that many investors make is to get caught up in the bear market rallies. These rallies are often defined as increases in the stock market of 5% or more during the bear market, right? We see, I would call them bounce, is what I call them, right? Where you have a week or like maybe 2 weeks of just downturns, right? And the stock market going down, and then all of a sudden you had that one Friday, where the stock market goes back up 5 or 10%. But what you fail to realize is the stock market been going down for the last month. 20, 30%. So one day a 5% increase, that's nothing. You're still down 25%, right? So don't be fooled by these market rallies. The optimism will fade as more bad news come out. Right now the situation in the world is we have a war that's going on. We have different strains of the virus. We have this, we have that. So many bad things are happening right now. The elections, this and that. People can get caught up in these type of situations. People getting nervous. I'm talking about big money and I'm talking about dumb money. All right. People can get nervous. They can start pulling out from their retirements. They can stop investing in their retirement plan. There's many things. I see it every single day, guys. because where I work at, a lot of people get nervous. I want my money, take it out, stop investing. I'm scared. What's going to happen? Am I going to be able to afford the gas, food, and all that? And all this is understandable, guys. It's natural. Instead of trying to figure out when the stock rally is going to happen, is it going to happen on a Thursday after the jobs report? Is it going to happen on a Friday after the Fed speaks, right? By the way, the next meeting is going to be December 14th. Instead of trying to time the market and trying to take advantage of this, rallies or whatever, just go ahead and stay the course every single week as much as you can into your stocks, right? Into your investment portfolio. And that way you don't have to worry about it. Number 4 is to build your investment rainy day fund. If you don't have an emergency fund, a savings account, something like that you can use either for, anywhere from 3 to 6 months, it will be a good idea to have just in case you lose your job, something bad happens, some kind of emergency. You don't have to touch your investments, right? But I understand if you don't. A lot of us don't. A lot of us do not have that money set aside. It might be a smart move to have some cash in hand and take advantage of a drop in the stock market. And not only that, but also if you have cash, stash it away at your house, because, cash is king. Let's say the whole environment, the whole electric grid, the whole stock market crashes, right? Everything, the whole economy just goes down into a recession or a depression like it happened in 1935, right? Cash is king. Nobody's going to tell you no to your cash. You can go to any store, any retail, any food department, superstore, super grocery store, whatever, right? And if you bring in cash in hand, the chances of somebody turning you down and saying, no, I don't want your cash, slim to none, especially during a recession or a depression. So I would suggest, that you guys have $1,000, maybe $2,000, $3,000, $5,000, whatever you can afford, locked away at home in a safe, all right? Just in case we fall into, very hard times, economic hard times. That's what I would suggest, guys. Some like to have 5 to 10% of their portfolio ready to invest. That's good. The key is not to invest everything at once. As I mentioned above, there are rallies during the bear market. All right, here's a big one. Pay off high interest debt. Okay, as we all know, this year has been how many rate hikes? 4, 5, 6, maybe 75 points. So the Fed is not going to stop anytime soon. They believe this next one's going to be just half a point, so they're going to slow it down a little bit. It's a good chance that they will be slowing down. But inflation, they're trying to keep inflation down. They're trying to bring it down, and that's their main job, inflation down, okay? So pay off those high interest rates that are not fixed, okay? So anything that's not fixed, I will get rid of. Any type of credit card. You never know how long the economic downturn will last, so you need to maximize the money you have available every day for living expenses and investments. If you can't get rid of the high debt credit card or loan or whatever it is, right? Most mortgages were fixed or are fixed, hopefully, right? You don't have to worry about that. But I'm talking about any type of, these credit cards nowadays, we're talking about 24%. Sam's, Costco, Walmart, Target, all these retail stores, Macy's. Wow, guys, Macy's, I think is about 20% interest rate. That is insane, guys. Do not get yourself into trouble because of these retailers. They're not helping you guys. That is a very unhealthy interest rate. Stay away from credit cards. Stay away from high interest rate loans. If a large portion of your monthly income is going towards debt, it is harder to make ends meet. Add in possible job loss or reduction of pay, and your finances get much more and more stressful and complicated in a hurry. And I don't want that to happen to you guys. Understand your job situation. Without a job, you have no money coming in, and there are no guarantees when it comes to employment during a recession. A lot of people will be getting laid off, right? That's a possibility, okay? You want to make yourself irreplaceable almost at work. I mean, nobody's really irreplaceable. We all replaceable, right? But if there's only one person that can do what you can at your job instead of like 10, who do you think is going to go first? So depending on the recession severity, many employers will lay off workers. Just look at what's happening in the tech today. You should take an honest assessment of your job security. If you think you're a candidate for a layoff, if there's something you can do now to lower that likelihood, is there a skill that you can learn that makes you more money valuable? It makes you more valuable to an employer. Do it now. Don't wait, guys. Do it now. A lot of you guys want to get paid, but you ain't got no skills. Can you graphic design? Can you program? Can you video edit? what can you do? You have to build your skills if you want to get paid, baby. That's just the way it is. We live in a capitalist world. Next, make sure you have an emergency fund. An emergency fund can be a difference between surviving a recession and falling way behind when you were hoped to be. Most experts recommend having 6 months worth of living expenses in your emergency fund. If you don't have 6 months, guys, I understand. Okay, I mean, not everyone is going to be able to put 6 months away on an emergency fund. This is ridiculous. Okay. But if you have 2 or 3 months, that could help you until you get to your next job, guys. So definitely have a little bit of an emergency fund available. And last but not least is to profit from the weak economy. Finally, there are some things that you can do to get ahead financially when the economy is weak. First, keep an eye on interest rates. While the Federal Reserve is increasing the rates to lower inflation during a recession, it will eventually pivot. We're expecting them to pivot here very soon, right? The next couple of weeks. Begin to lower rates and the economy moving fast again. If the rates drop below what you are paying on a mortgage, consider refinancing to save money. So now is a horrible way to time to refinance. But I remember during the pandemic, right? I got these phone calls like almost every single week for my mortgage, right, to refinance, and I got it all the way down to like 2.25%. Very low. These rates will never come back around ever. Right? So take advantage of like whenever the Fed brings those interest rates down back to zero and refinance your debt. And just make sure whatever you do is a fixed rate, guys. Fixed rate. Put that in your mind. Fixed rates. None of this balloon garbage. None of this, comparable rates or fluctuable rates or whatever you want to call it. Just if it ain't fixed rate, I don't want that debt. If it's not a fixed rate debt, I don't want that debt. Write that down. If it's not a fixed rate, I don't want that debt. I don't need that debt in my life. It has to be fixed, guys. It has to be fixed. A good way to figure out if somebody has great financial IQ is that they look at the price of things and they don't look at it as money. They look at it as time, right? So I'm looking at this couch, or I'm looking at this TV, and the price is $400, $500, $600. I'm looking at how many hours do I need to be at work to afford this TV. This TV is going to cost me 2 hours of work. This TV is going to cost me half a day of work, right? That's somebody that has good financial IQ. A good financial IQ will get you through this hard times, guys. It will get you through recessions, depressions, and just being smart with your money and not wasting it on things that you do not need. I hope this video helped you guys. If you have any more questions or comments, or if you know how to help other people during recessions, right? Leave it in the comments below because I love to read your comments. But as always, guys, if you like this video, make sure you drop a like, subscribe to the channel. But more important than that, make sure you guys take care of yourselves. And I'll see you soon.
I bring up the pain, Ricosaurus the main. I make the market rain like acid rain. An investing channel you ever known, ya. I think you'll build your house, your money, leave you broke, son.